Alright, welcome back again. So you first. So please, if it's your first time of coming across my video, I want you to do me a favor, like and subscribe, drop your comment below. So without wasting much of time, I want to briefly share with you today. Today I want to share with you my overall trading strategy. What when I come into the market or when I'm looking at the chart, what I really look out for. So I believe this video will take a brief of time, so I want you to take your time, watch the video from the beginning to end. I want to step by step break down my approach to trading, what I look for, and from the analysis process to entry. So all I do when it comes to the technical analysis. So first of all, what we want to do here, first of all, if you've been watching my YouTube video, if you've been watching my video for the longest, and you know basically what I do first. And basically the first thing we do is look out for trend, like make the trend your friend. So that's what basically when we come to the market we do first. Now this approach, now you can use this in different assets, either in the forex market or in the crypto market, regardless of whatever pair I'm using to do the analysis, or whatever pair, or regardless, not minding the pair I'm using to do the analysis or to break down the approach. Just in this scenario, I just want to bring out the select out of the pair which is most easy for me to properly explain what I'm trying to pass at. So at least the chart at least a bit give a more clearer picture of the strategy. But regardless, you can apply to any other pair, just a matter of getting used to it and mastering. So without wasting much time, what I'm currently looking at here, what I'm using to do the analysis for nice Btcusd, as I've said before, basically I trade forex pair, and you can use it in all pair. So you can use that crypto or forex. So once you come into the market, or once you are looking at the chart, the first thing you want to do is to identify the direction of the market, where exactly this market is trending to, what is the market currently doing altogether. That is what we want to first of all point out. So how do we carry out that? The first thing we want to do, how do we figure out where exactly the market is going, is by scaling to the higher time frame altogether. Once you scale to the higher time frame, from the higher time frame, we want to gradually push down. We want to gradually scale down to identify what the market is doing, like gradually scale down from the, if I start from the weekly, most of the time I kick off my analysis from the weekly time frame, from the weekly down to the daily, from the daily, just like that in a sequence order. So without wasting much of our time, just so from Btcusd on the weekly time frame. So from the weekly time frame, what can we see here now? If we are to map from the weekly structural view, what we can see here is, what we can see here, we have a break of structure here. We have this break of structure. We have this break of structure here. Break of structure here. We have this. This was the eye that lead to the break of structure. So this eye, I want you to take your time, watch the video. And this was the eye that lead to the break of this structure. Okay. Now, mind you, there's something I don't know. I don't really know if I've emphasized this in my previous video, but when analyzing, it is very important for you to know that this is the weekly time frame. Now, in the weekly, there's something you must need to put into consideration. In the weekly time frame, it takes days, like 5 days of price action to make a weekly candle. So observing a price action from the weekly time frame, now what you can see, it's like this is not, now there's aggressive push of bearish candle to the downside, but it will take a longer period. Now higher time frame take longer period of price action to form. So observing market from the higher time just give you a clear direction of where exactly the momentum of the market is really pushing to. Are we together? So what we can see here from the weekly time, what I can tell here is, which is bit length. What I can tell here is the market is pushing to the downside. We are looking at a bearish market just for now. Maybe as we gradually scale down, we at least know what exactly. Now the overall trend from the weekly time frame might be giving us a downward push. Are we together? Like a push to the downside. So what we want to do is to gradually scale down. We want to be able to pinpoint some key level. Now let's see something. Hold on, I said this video is going to take a bit of time. Now, what you can see here, this was the high that led to this break or structure to this downside. Now, once you add this break or structure here, what do we expect? We expect a retracement, right? Or maybe probably once it break, we expect a break, or breaks a break, but at least we expect a significant break to the downside. We expect a significant break. After a significant break, we expect a push to the weekly time. Now, in the weekly view of this, you cannot be expecting a drop, a push, a drop happen in matter of days. This will be taking this push here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This take more than a week. So this retracement here. Now, if I depend on the type of trader you are, only this retracement here, this about a week. This is a trend for you. I mean, probably you're a day trader, or more probably some swing traders. This is a trend for you. Are we together? So this period of push here is a trend on its own. This period of push here is also a trend on its own. Now it's all depend on now. The reason I'm emphasizing on this is because it's all depend your analysis need to still understand time frame, how long it will take. Now, analyzing market from the higher time frame, placing your trade depend on the time frame. It's all depend on how long you want to keep your analysis, how long you want to keep your trade once it's executed. If you're a day trader, if you're looking for opportunity to close your trade within the week, you should be going to the lower time frame to mean this push here will be a trend for you, who should be looking to buy. Now, starting from here, this push alone here is also a trend on its own. Now, this push here, that's 1, 2, 3, 4. This is, depending on the type of trader you are, this is also a trend. This is also a trend for you. So you should be looking for more of opportunity to buy, but mainly looking at it from the weekly time frame. We are still on a bearish move. But depending on the type of trader, if you are a type of trader that you want to a day trader or swing trader, you can take trade from here. Can hold the trade for a week, days before closing the trade. This will be like a full-blown bullish trend for you, because it take a long period of time. If the market truly retracing, to take a longer period to push up to this level, and this push retracement that look like a trend for you, which is a major trend, which you be looking for opportunity to buy all together. Now, the essence of me coming to the higher time from the weekly time is for me to at least get a more summarized view of the market structure. Now, if you closely look at this market structure now, from the broader view, you can see that the market is pushing to the downside, but closely examine this structure here. What you can see here is, after this massive drop in price here, we have this bullish push. After this bullish, what you can see here, this candle are weak bullish candle. So what you can take this kind of price action, what you can see from the weekly time frame here is, what you can tell here, you can see that this portion from the weekly time frame, you can see that the market is consolidating. Altogether, the market is consolidating, and this consolidation, since it's up now, we are seeing this consolidation in the higher time from the weekly time frame. So, but as you scale down to the lower time, you can see that this is no longer a concept, because you get a broader view of this movement, which people will be looking for opportunity to buy, which is this push here, which is a bullish move, which will take up to a month. So this will look like a bullish major trend to people. Are we together? So that's what I want to. I don't know if you get it, but what I'm trying to emphasize here is all depend on the type of trader you have. This will seem like a consolidation for people, and also at the same time, this is also a trend. So without wasting much of time, let's gradually scale down without. I don't want to bore you. So as we gradually scale down, you understand what I'm trying to explain. Also, I'll still lay more emphasis on the structure. So I said the first thing I want to do here is identify the trend. So what I want to conclude here is from the weekly time frame, we are seeing a what? We are seeing a bearish structure. So let's see. Hold on. Let's see for now. We are looking at the bearish move. Now let's see, this is our base. So next thing we want to do, we want to scale down to the lower time frame. Let's go to the daily time frame. Alright, so as we scale down to the daily time frame, what we can see here now, this was the structural high that I mapped out from the weekly time frame. So this was the aggressive bearish drop to the downside. Now if as we scale down to the daily time frame, this was the break of structure. This was the weekly consolidation that I was talking about. No, so it's all depend on the type of trader you are. And once you come to the daily time frame, since you are a type of trader that you are looking for opportunity, looking for a short-term, short interval trade, like trader you keep for a short period, maybe a day trader or a probably swing trader, like looking to hold a trade for maybe probably 2 to 3 days. 2 to 3 days, you can see trade this one, and this will see like a major bear from year to year. This is 1 to 3 days of price action is still enough. This is weeks of price action, 1 2 3 4 5 week of price from here. This is a major trend to people. And but if you're observing it from the weekly time frame, it's a consolidation. Most of the time you step away from consolidation, but in other people with different view will see this as a push in the market. So without wasting much of time now, let's see. Now this was the weekly high, this was the base, this was the low. Hold on, this was the low that I mapped out. So now closely observing. So since this is our major bearish push, our focus will be from this high down to this period of consolidation, this zone here. So what you can see here is we had a break of structure here. After the massive drop in price, we had a push here, retracement. So let's map it out. Hold on. We have this high here. We have another high here. So I hope we are not we are still together. So now this was a massive drop from the weekly time frame. So our focus here on this video will be on this push, this price action here, the current market movement here. Now from the weekly time, what we are observing was we are seeing a consolidation. Now, but if we scale down to the lower time, we can see that we can have a clear price movement here. We can still see opportunity to trade here. So let's see. Initially this market was a drop to the downside. We said this is a bearish market. So once you had this drop here, what we expect, we had a push, retracement. What do we expect? We expect a break. We expect after a retracement, what do we expect? We expect a push to the downside to cause a break of structure, which we did. We had a break of structure. Next, we expect after a break or short, what do we expect? We expect a push to the downside and a push to the upside. All right. As I've said earlier before, now what we can see here is now this concept, like what I'm trying to analyze here, what I'm trying to push out here is it's all depend on the type of trader you are. Most of the time, our analysis process or our bias might vary. Sometimes my people or two individuals who are studying the same pair might some and one individual might say the market is bullish, while the other individual might say the market is bearish. All depend on, from my point of view, it's all depend on how long the trader want to hold this trade, or exactly how long is holding his trade, and sometimes strategy different point of interest. From my own point of view, what I'm observing is that, as I said earlier, this market is pushing to the downside, so we should be looking for basically should be looking for more of opportunity of selling in this market. Now others might see it as a form of consolidation and let the market at least give a clear direction before they will trade. So now what really differs is this is a daily time frame. Even though from the weekly to the daily time frame, it take a lot of time, like take days of price action to make a full price correction or movement. Now this would take days of movement, from days to weeks, from weeks to months. This will take a longer period to play. So there are people who look for more of opportunity to be selling down in this market, and the same scenario apply to this one. Now this might be and people that are looking for a selling opportunity will probably wait for these days of price action to play out. Now if you calculate the days now, like they will be looking for, okay, let's see if there's probably a level of possible level of supply to sell down from, or why others, while this will take probably once they map their level, we should be expecting for a pullback, which 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11, so probably counting up to weeks plus before you can see that price can reach them. There are people who take this daily push as their major trend altogether. So what you can see here is which this will be seen as a major trend, which will be looking for opportunity to, since this is a major trend, we're looking for more of opportunity of buying to the upside altogether. Now the reason why I'm sharing this, I just want to look at the market in a top-down approach. We want to gradually understand the market from different viewpoints, like gradually scale down from the top. Now closely examine the market from the higher time frame down to the lower time frame, regardless of the market structure. And market structure might not see a clear price pattern to trade from or structure. So we want to gradually scale down to be able to understand what is currently happening, and it all depends on the time frame you place your market and how long is going to your trade and how long is going to play out in the market. So now let's first of all, since we're already close to the current market price, we want to carry out our analysis from this level down to the current market price. Now what we can see, we can see a clear, now this from the weekly time, we're going to assume that. Now one thing I still want to share is my overall approach to trading is, first of all, I want to go to the higher time frame. From the higher time frame, I want to start my analysis from the weekly. From the weekly, I want to know exactly what the market is doing, the current direction. Down to the daily, I want to ensure that the weekly and the daily are in line together. But I want to ensure that the weekly and the daily structure are in line together, meaning I want to trade in the direction most of the time the weekly and the daily time frame is pointing to. Now if you closely examine, like if I put a vertical bar here, I want to point at something. Hold on. A vertical bar here, right about here. Let's see. I want to point out something. Hold on. Now, if you observe this trend line here, now you can see sequence of bullish candle. Now this was a vertical bar that I was talking about. Now, I'm not a position trader. Now, a position trader, since this is a bearish market, now if I'm looking from the weekly structure, this is bearish market. So, a position trader probably we should looking for more of price this leg as a retracement leg, push a more of significant, more of premium level and sell down. Now, my own approach is probably you can see now this once we have this bullish candle, this bullish engulfing candle. You remember this? This bullish candle here, maybe probably first to maybe this first candle here. If you go to the weekly time, daily time, the daily time frame is already pointing to the upside. Follow the daily time frame is already pointing to, and the weekly time frame is also giving a candle. Now this candle here is a trend on the lower time frame. Okay, so meaning from my own view now, this is already a trend, a bullish trend for me to be looking for opportunity of buying. Altogether, this is more like this is already a bullish trend, because if we scale down to the daily time frame, it's already in line. The weekly and the daily is already in line, in the upward direction. So what I should be looking for, because the weekly time frame already engulfed this, the daily, the previous weekly candle, and daily is already pointing in the same direction, which is still from depending on the angle of which you are viewing the market, which is a retracement leg, a bullish retracement, which you are seen as a major trend to the market, a major push to the upside, we should be looking for opportunity to take your trade. So let's get that. Now, most of the time I don't use trend line. What I do here is I use basically market structure. So I want to still use this opportunity to explain market structure here. So what we are looking at here, the market will not really flow in a linear fashion like this, or probably in a cluster manner like this. You want to see the market in form of, if it's a bullish market, I want to be seeing highs, low, high, lows, high, low, low, just like that. Keep on making sequence of break of structure to this. This is a signal that the market is pushing to the upside. So what you can see here is, since we had a push, what we want to see, we already defined our direction, and this from the look of things, the market is pushing to the upside. For me, a bullish, we want to identify the structure. So since we don't have a clear structure, you can scale down a bit lower again to the lower time frame to map out our structure. Let's go to the 4-1. Hope we are together. So I don't really want us to lose track. But as we scale a bit lower, this, I think the chart will become more broader. So, but I want us to be together. So I don't want to lose track. So hold on, let's load up. And this was the, now from the top, like this was the weekly high that map where the aggressive move start. I don't want to lose track. That's one point. And this was the internal push retracement before we had a break or structure to the downside. Now, if you can clearly remember, this was the trend line that map, which I pointed out I'm not used to trend line. What we want to focus is, since this trend line is pointing to the other, I want to understand the structure altogether. I'm more focused on the structure. Now, what you can see, if we try to map out the structure here, is, let's start from here. We have this push. Make this. We have this break here. Hold on. Let's see at this point. We are there too. Hold on. So we add here too. So what you can see here is these are the push that lead to the break. Now what do we expect? Don't expect this to break above, or this was a structural high that lead to the break of structure. So what do we expect? We expect a retracement. This is more like a retracement. So we had a high, low, which is this. We have this high here. You can pick any of this low. We had a push here, low, failed to cause a break of structure. It dropped down. But this was the origin that led to the break of structure here. We had a break of. We have this push back, break of structure again. Before we had this push again, which failed to cause a break of structure. So this was the highest point that price got to. This was the top. So once we get to this top, what we expect, what you can see here is what we expect now. This is, we don't really have a significant shift in market structure yet, but I'm going to be on Bitcoin is not really, as I've said, from the original, what you can see, the market was consolidating, so the structure is not really that so clever. So that's why at least it's quiet. I'm not going to be honest. I'm going to post this video also. So once analyzing, since we had a structure, a push here, what do I say? This was the low. So once we had a break below this, you can see the market has shifted to structure. But from the look of this, what you can, if you closely observe here, we had this push break. So, okay, done. We had a push here. It's low. Market drop, push, drop, like consolidate within this range. Come to this low. What do we expect again? Add a push here. So it's still revolving, circulating around within the base. Hold on, this video is taking a bit longer. So what you can see here is the market, once you had this break here, we had this low here, which lead to this break of structure. What do you expect? We expect a retracement. Now it can push as low as come to the origin, but we don't expect it. Once it close below, the rule said it has shift market. We had a shift in market, so but now it's still within the range. You had a double top here, triple tap of the bottom. We had a push here, which also failed to cause a break of structure. Now the angle at which I'm looking at this is this. Now most of the time, what do we expect before we can say market have shift structure is market have shifted to the downside is what we expect. We expect a push, a low, a break of structure, a low, a break of structure. Now we can see tell that the market is continually pushing to the upside. And what do we expect? We expect the next one to come below, low here, not breaking below, and push up again. But a situation whereby we had a break, a drop here below this one, we said we had a shift in market structure. What do we expect? We expect the market to push up and drop. But sometimes the market might not really go in a theoretical form. Now what we have here is what I'm looking at. My thought process is this. We had this low here, we had a break, right? What do we expect? We expect a retracement. Now the retracement can come as low as to the base, right? Now once you come, as it's coming down, it's like creating structures, fine. We had this touch here, we had a push. And if indeed the buyers are really strong in this market situation, we expect it to push and break below. What do we see here? But we had a failure to cause a break here. So what do we expect? We expect this push to come break below, but set is still within the range. So if you are more of looking for trade, like, hold on, Bitcoin. So I just, from this video, I really don't want to pinpoint any level. I don't want to conclude here, but at least you already know that the market is still within a range. If you are looking for opportunity, you should be looking for, yeah, like this is more like buying, looking for opportunity to buy into the market. And this is a key supply zone. So this video is I said I want to explain my overall trading strategy, but the structure is a bit, I don't want to make it confusing here. At least I will still take my time to brief the strategy. It's not really what I want to share here, but at least sometime along the video, mood change or whatever. I just wanted to, at least for this week, can add this to your own analysis and see what I'm really expecting from the market. So these are major key level. Maybe probably if you take a buy, you should be expected to sell from this level. If you sell from this, you should be expecting the market to push down. So maybe in the coming up video, I will take my time to really explain the overall approach, my own approach to trading. So wish you the best. Peace. I take care.